All right, guys, PudgeFisk72 here. Part 3 of the 40 years of Topps 1991 Topps box. I feel like I probably overpaid for this box. You guys will think I'm probably pretty stupid, but I paid 20 bucks cash. There was no shipping. It was a local deal. 20 bucks cash. And I thought, well, if I get two Chipper Jones and maybe some other good cards, maybe it'll be worth it. And I didn't mind overpaying a little bit because it was really convenient for me to get there and grab it. Willie McGee. Great with the Cardinals there for a minute. So 20 seems high. I don't know, eBay, I'm sure they're a lot cheaper, but then they're shipping. That's the deal. I got that with, there's Gary Carter, Hubie Brooks, Jeff Blauser, we've talked about before, is from my hometown. It's in our high school Hall of Fame. So we are coming down to it. I think we can get this done in this video. But, you know, here are all the packs out of the box that are left. There's the empty box. Let's get one more good chipper. Bobby Bonilla. I don't know what his chances are someday of going into the Hall. Famous for that great contract he's still getting paid for. Lloyd Mosby, also from the local area. At any rate, at one time, the back of Lloyd Mosby's baseball card said Loomis, California, back in the 80s when he was with Toronto. And that is right down the road from us. Biggio. Again, Jeff Leonard, I said in a previous video, he gives hitting lessons in the Roseville, California area. We've seen him in the cage with some of the bigger high school kids. I'm sure it is not cheap to have Jeff Leonard set the balls on the tee for you. Because when we saw him, that's all he was really doing. And telling stories. So no, I'm not, I don't want to say anything bad about One Wing. What was it? One Wing Down? No, he was giving the young man some tips, like in between, what do you call it, when you do a series of hitting, and then he would give him some tips, and you never know what the relationship is and what other tips they've talked about. And you go in there and watch for 5 minutes, and you don't have to say a lot in order to instruct someone over the long haul. So try to walk that comment back. So I have a lot of respect for Mr. Jeff Leonard. Sammy Sosa. So I think we'll do these last packs. I'll do a quick recap of the cards that I like. The Griffey, Hall of Famer. One thing on my mind this year, too, this is the first part of 2019, is will the voters, now that the Hall of Fame voting is changing, Will they put in Derek Jeter unanimously to match Mo Rivera, who just was, I pulled the Griffey card, made me think about it, he just was the first person ever in the history of baseball, John Farrell. I don't know if that's the guy that ended up managing the Bo Sox or not. Anyway, there's the Randy Johnson. Yeah, so they put Mo Rivera in unanimously, first ever in history. And, you know, I was talking in an earlier video about how, you know, as the composition of the voting body changes and maybe people who are a bit younger and whatnot, they might not hold the PEDs over the heads of those players. They might view it more as, hey, it was something of an era. It was, you know, you played Jared Gleaton. You played during the steroids era, just like the live ball era, or the, you know, there are lots of players, well-known players in the Hall of Fame today who took greenies, which I think are basically amphetamines to get up for games, and those are certainly performance enhancing, you know, and they never got kicked out of the Hall for doing that, or Mickey Mantle for, you know, I don't know if alcohol would be performance enhancing, but, you know, it's kind of a cool Roger Clemens card. See the wall and Green Monster and Fenway. So the idea is, hey, the voters now are not so upset about it. They're, you know, the voters will continue to get younger and younger as time goes by, and they'll see it from a perspective of history instead of a perspective of scandal. And will they say, hey, okay, you know, Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, these guys will go in, you know, maybe with an asterisk or whatever. They can put them in a different part of the Hall that's from this era, just like you would put somebody in that was from the dead ball era. There's Mark McGwire. And Barry Bonds, there he is, the guy we're talking about. I do think he'll go in. And I would imagine with Clemens. But in any case, we talked all of that about the voting body changing, and, you know, I think that's also reflected with Mo Rivera getting unanimous. People go, this is silly that we, you know, wouldn't vote for the best closer in the history of the game, best relief pitcher in the history of the game, on one of the greatest teams in the greatest eras, you know, what, 3-4 World Series, something crazy like that. Hey, it's unanimous. And I could really see them going, hey, let's have Jeter and Mo Rivera go in kind of, you know, side by side, back to back, one in 2019, one in 2020, both unanimous. And I'm just gonna go ahead and throw it out there and predict that is gonna happen in 2020, and that Jeter will go in unanimously as part of voters changing their mind and the voting composition changing a little bit. We'll recap. This is the last pack, but I'm not expecting to get another Chipper Jones rookie in here. But I am happy with this box, I suppose. I do feel like I overpaid at $20, but I did have a lot of fun. And I would probably do it again. I'd probably try to ask him to come down to 15. But Barry Larkin, Hall of Famer. George Brett record breaker. And there's another Fisk record breaker, which we got earlier in the break by Fisk Super Collector, as the name of the channel implies. So that's perfect to get at the end, and no more Chipper. So here is, whoops, sorry for the thumb, guys. Here's a little box. All of the game cards, the wrappers, the gum, the empty box. These two stacks are all of the base cards. I'll show again from the previous video. Let me, sorry guys. There is the chipper. Let me get it in the light. You know, Pack Fresh, earlier video, you know, 4 sharp corners, nothing on the surface that I could pick out so far in terms of print dots or anything. Nice surface, nice edges, slightly, ever so slightly off center, left to right. And as I look at it now, you know, I would say 60-40. I might go 55-45, but to try to be rigorous, I'm going to say it's 60-40 off center. But still, I got to check what PSA would do with that. I'm going to say it's a PSA 8. Might be a PSA 9. So that's basically the big hit out of that box for 20 bucks. So that's just a roll of paper. So all of those are base cards or cards that didn't really interest me. And then I'll quickly rifle through these hits or things that I just like. The record breakers, Barry Larkin, Barry Bonds, Mark McGuire, Dave Winfield. I'm going to sort these All-Stars and record breakers out. Roger Clemens, Jose Canseco and Barry Bonds, Randy Johnson, Griffey Jr., Sosa, Ricky, Biggio, Blauser, Carter, Lee Smith, Larry Walker, Fred Lynn, Tony Gwynn, Darren Lewis, who I collect, Robin Ventura. I don't think I even want to keep that in that stack. Galarraga, Dave Parker, Greg Maddux, Nolan Ryan, which I think I'm going to peel that out, Sandberg and Larkin, All-Stars, Frank Thomas, Jack Morris, Doc Gooden, Will Clark, Don Mattingly, Robbie Alomar, Jose Canseco, Ozzie Smith, Eric Davis, Tom Glavine, which we got 2 of, Robin Yount, Tom Glavine again, Fisk All-Star, another Sammy Sosa, David Justice, Bo Jackson, another Fisk record breaker, another Brett record breaker, Barry Larkin again, another Griffey, and Ricky Henderson. So when you think about a box, that's pretty good. Not a lot of dupes. Pretty good collation for tops there. So that stack, I think that Nolan Ryan's worth a couple of bucks. So all in all, not bad. Had fun breaking it. And hey, thanks a lot for watching, guys. If you can help me out, I'm trying to just get this channel going and show you guys some cards. Hit a like and a subscribe if you like the content. And thanks a bunch. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.